So nice to be here with you this morning as we reflect on these very beautiful scriptures. The philosopher Soren Kierkegaard said, life is understood backward, but lived forward. So as we look back not only on our own lives and learn lessons from that, we can look back on the life of Jesus and learn many useful lessons from him and his process. These lessons involve choosing to commit to a faith process, choosing a disciple's role to make a difference, and choosing to transform suffering through compassionate purpose. These are the reflections for this morning. First of all, committing to the faith process. Jesus in the gospel had a vision of life that transcended the prevailing consciousness, a vision of God's love, and he can live out of that single eye of faith. We abandon dependence or distraction and manipulation, which is the bane of our present age. Too much psychiatry and medication management, just patching people up and sending them back out to never addressing the existential questions, issues of life. Easy answers, quick, simple, and wrong. We see it everywhere. Religion, technology. I have a fear that as a society we're really moving in a poor direction in many ways. Denial and soothing ourselves with half measures. So much art have been abandoned, philosophy, literature, music. And what have they been abandoned for? Empty gadgetry, smoke and mirrors, signifying nothing. The first collision is the authentic. Fake and ersatz don't care. The results are, we're looking for results, but they're hiding the fact that we're losing the battle. The big picture continually seems to deteriorate as we march confidently toward bigger, better, more puffed up egotism. Being a disciple means denying the major premise. Gadgetry and manipulation will get us through. It's killing us spiritually, socially, and even physically. John Henry Newman said, trust the faith process. Trust the faith process. Would you like to say with me? I commit my life to the faith process. Secondly, we accept the challenge to make a difference in the world. Jesus was in the tradition of the Jewish prophets, Isaiah. Be willing to have your message of God's universal love rejected. People were furious at Jesus and threw him out of the synagogue, but because he said that God's love could not heal them because of their hard hearts, because they rejected infinite love and they thought that they had a copyright on God. So many people get that idea somehow. Jesus did not say, go into the whole world, but he said, bring the whole world to you through love. I think that usually we don't get into too much conflict, and I will share with you personally, I'm quite conflict avoidant myself. I don't need that. But if you live the gospel, you're going to step on somebody's toes, and that's part of the discipleship that we all have to deal with. Fact is, if I'm a disciple of the gospel, I'm going to stir the pot a little bit. Martin Luther King said, life's most persistent and urgent question is, what are you doing for others? Mysticism and prayer without a prophetic edge is meaningless. Christians have a basic optimism, but that doesn't blind us to the fact that evil is alive and creating many hells. If you'd like to say after me, I accept my call as a disciple to care and make a difference. I accept my call as a disciple to care and make a difference. And then, of course, we have passionate purpose. The world today, it seems that poverty, oppression, violence are the norm. But we're not into the blame game, but we're also not into denial. Our patron saint is not the ostrich or the chameleon. There's a fundamental optimism in the whole faith process. It is our understanding and trust as we walk with Jesus. Bernard Shaw said it beautifully, I thought. This is the true joy in life, the being used for a purpose recognized by yourself as a mighty one, the being thoroughly worn out before you're thrown out on the scrap heap. The world, instead of a feverish little clod of ailments and grievances, complaining that the world won't make you happy. Helen Keller said that true happiness is not attained through self-gratification, but through fidelity to a worthy purpose. And as disciples of Jesus, we have that purpose. We realize that as compassion is modeled on the love that Jesus models for all of us. I transform suffering through compassionate choices. I transform suffering through compassionate choices. So life is understood backward, and we focus this morning on the wisdom of Jesus as we live forward. And using Jesus as our model, our theme can be that love never fails. By committing my life to the faith process, by accepting my role to care and make a difference, I transform suffering through compassionate choices in my life.